The horror begins with a chilling mystery, a mass disappearance that defies logic. In the small town of Maybrook, Pennsylvania, third-grade teacher Justine Gandy arrives at school one morning, expecting a normal day. But when she opens her classroom door, she finds only one student, Alex Lilly, sitting alone. The other 17 children have vanished without a trace. Panicked, Justine calls the students' parents. Shockingly, every parent reports the same thing. Their child had walked toward the forest behind the town and then disappeared into the darkness. The police launch a massive search operation, combing deep into the woods but find nothing. It's as if the children evaporated into thin air. With no clues, investigators briefly suspect the children may have staged a collective prank. They question Alex, the only child left behind, who is autistic, but some furious parents refuse to believe his account, and tensions at the school escalate. Justine is eventually escorted out by school security to prevent further conflict. That night, exhausted and back home, Justine hears her doorbell ring. She checks through the peephole. No one is there. Just as she begins to doubt herself, a loud bang hits the door. Fed up, she grabs her stun gun and rushes outside, only to find no one, just her car, vandalized with red waterproof paint. The next morning, unable to clean the paint off, Justine drives the defaced car to school. There, Principal Marcus Miller informs her that due to intense pressure from the parents, she's being placed on temporary leave. Justine protests, but Marcus urges her to go home. He mentions something odd. Alex's father hasn't come to pick him up in over a month. Justine considers visiting Alex himself, but Officer Paul Morgan advises against it, warning that such contact could raise suspicion with the police. Justine ignores Paul's advice and begins following Alex after school. She notices he doesn't take the school bus. Instead, he walks home alone. She trails him to his neighborhood and sees him rush inside his house. His father's car is parked out front. Something feels off. All the windows in Alex's house are sealed shut from the inside with newspaper, a stark contrast to how it looked a month ago during a home visit. Peering through a gap, Justine is shocked to see Alex's parents sitting motionless on the living room couch. Disturbed, she calls Paul again, hoping the police will investigate. But Paul scolds her for acting on her own and urges her to leave before she's seen as a suspect. Justine refuses to go. She decides to stake out the house, waiting for Alex's parents to emerge. Exhausted, she eventually falls asleep in her car. While asleep, she recalls reading a book about witches who use specific rituals, twigs, bells, and personal items to control others. Those under their influence lose their sense of self and behave abnormally. Meanwhile, Archer Graff, whose son Matthew is among the missing suspects, black magic is involved. He shares his theory with the town sheriff, pointing to Justine as a possible culprit. He notes her past DUI record and dismissal from a previous school. The sheriff tells him that Justine was thoroughly investigated after the incident and has a solid alibi. Still, Archer remains convinced. At a school-organized town hall, he publicly accuses Justine of being a witch. His words ignite the already anxious crowd of parents, escalating tensions in the room. After vandalizing Justine's car with red paint, Archer Graff spends the night outside her house, hoping to catch someone in the act. But he finds nothing. Exhausted, he returns home and falls asleep, only to be jolted awake at 2:17 a.m. by a strange sound. He sees his missing son, Matthew. Overcome with emotion, Archer chases after him as the boy runs toward the forest. On the other side, Archer finds a house identical to his own. Matthew runs inside and Archer follows. In the bedroom, Archer sees Matthew lying on the bed, motionless. Meanwhile, Gladys, Alex Lilly's aunt and the film's antagonist, tells Principal Marcus Miller that Alex's parents are gravely ill. Marcus refuses, citing Alex's young age, and suggests applying for community assistance. During their conversation, Gladys suddenly scratches her palm with a thorn-covered twig and shakes a bell. Marcus is instantly hypnotized. Gladys snaps the twig, and the entranced principal attacks his boyfriend. She then pulls out a strand of Justine's hair. Marcus, now under her control, bolts out the door in a twisted posture and sprints off in a specific direction. Archer and Justine follow the map's coordinates, but Marcus chases their car relentlessly until he's hit by a passing vehicle at an intersection. Both Justine and Archer are injured and taken to the hospital. Archer apologizes to Justine, but insists Matthew is under a dark spell. He shows Justine a map, pointing out a convergence of two paths. She's stunned. The location is Alex's house. They rush to Alex's neighborhood and find Officer Paul Morgan's patrol car parked outside. Paul is there because a petty thief named Curly had been caught earlier and, in exchange for a reward, told police he saw a child in Alex's basement, a child who resembled one of the missing kids. Paul, recalling Justine's earlier call, decides to investigate. Justine is about to call him when she sees Paul exit the house and wave to them. She and Archer assume the police have made a breakthrough. It turns out that a month ago, Gladys moved into Alex's house using black magic. She took control of Alex's parents. She forced him to bring personal items from his classmates, which she used in rituals to control the children. At exactly 2:17 a.m., she cast a spell to lure the children to her house and trap them in the basement, preparing them for a sacrificial ritual meant to restore her powers. To prevent Justine from uncovering the truth, Gladys hypnotizes Marcus and Paul, sending them to silence her. Just as Gladys is about to attack Justine, Alex sneaks into her room, wraps her hair around a twig, and performs a reversal spell. The imprisoned children are freed and burst out of the basement. Gladys tries to escape, but the children chase her down. After her death, everyone under her spell returns to normal. All the missing children are safely recovered, and the town of Maybrook regains its peace. Weapons is a horror film that uses fear like a scalpel. Through the lens of a child's disappearance, it slices open the facade of small-town America, exposing the fragility of its institutions and the darkness within human nature. The film's innovative multi-perspective storytelling make it a standout horror entry in 2025.